Board games, board games, it's what we talk about. Board games, board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And over there, you'll see semi-co-op. There's Rachel over there on the left with the black top. And there's Heinze also helps with semi-co-op. Heinze is wearing a blue top with a robot.
Yes.
And these people have made a comic. This comic, I could say, is rather sick. Now, I don't mean sick as in it is unwell. I mean that it's rather good in case you can't tell. And these people are such a delight to talk to. We have had a fun time at Essen nights, and today we'll talk more about board games and comics. It's what we're talking about. Board games and everything in the world. I'm not gonna shout. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I hope that you're generally well. And hello, Kelly Lee and Ben from the Game Cupboard. Thank you for joining. And Nicola Straccia and Xate. This is episode 310 of Bezzy Beats and Board Game Bledder. And today is the Friendly Friday Forum. It's with me. Wait a minute. Did I misspell your name? Rachel, did I?
You made it fancier.
I'm very sorry. Let me change that very quickly.
I think it's nice, an extra letter.
Maybe you should.
There we go.
do you want to change your name by deed poll? Maybe you could have an AE, Rachael. No, that would be weird.
It would be weird, but it does look fancy.
It does feel like I'm leveling up my name.
It does.
Never thought about it.
Heinze, you could just have some extra H's at the end. Why not?
Yes, why not?
Yeah. And so I am going to change these so that it is your actual name, Joanne. Sorry about that on the YouTube. But today we are joined by not one, not two, but yes, two. I was wrong. It is actually two.
Well, there's a cat in the room, but he's hiding right now. So actually 3 in the room.
Excellent. And hello, Rita Modal. It is lovely to see you. And Jess from Descent Games, Starts Player Robert. And Xate has apparently leveled up her name. And hello, Rob. So many amazing people. It is super lovely to see you. Oh, and so thank you all for joining us. Today is Friendly Friday Forum, as always, and I'm going to share this in the comments literally everywhere. If you want to join us because you're like, I really don't want to type, or I want to have my face on a screen, you are allowed to join us. But we do have 2 guests that I'm going to focus on a wee bit more. Co-op, of course, it is, as always, about you. We're going to just chat about anything we want to. Feel free to chuck in any questionably quick questions. Feel free to do the whole !dotask. And I'm not going to... how do you feel about singing?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're not good singers.
We're not good.
Fine.
Yeah, as long as nobody's expecting anything, we'll be fine.
Exactly.
Okay, that's all good. And yep. Oh, there we go. Such lovely things.
Well, your games are great. Let's be honest.
Oh, such love. And there's Alex, and thank you for joining us. And hello, Hal. Oh my God, so many amazing people this morning. And so let's move on to the first section where I like to ask everybody, whether you're watching this live or after the fact, or whether you're on the screen, think, what have you been up to recently? What are your recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. I had a chat. I had a stream yesterday where I drew a couple of things. So I drew yesterday morning. I drew these cats.
Look at
I love
those.
the
And
cat.
then I
people.
drew
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It could be a cat in Eldritch Horror. It's so
And
cool.
Then I did this quick thing to finish up.
Ah.
Then I was on Omari Akil's channel with Matthew Dunstan, and I agreed 100% with some of the people. I just want to make that clear. So then I had a lovely chat with Omari for an hour and a half after the show. We chatted about so much. It was really useful, and about philosophy. My other recent highlight is that this morning I spent a good productive maybe half an hour. I wish that it was like an hour and 10 minutes, but I kept getting distracted. I'm not going to lie. But I've written about less than 300 words of a book that I've been meaning to write. So it's like very little, but it's still a start. It's still a start.
Exactly.
It's a start. I just started.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you very much. Yes. I appreciate that. And what have you been up to? What are some of your highlights?
I have been helping out some of my students who've organized a student film festival, and they needed an award last minute. So I've been printing these little movie clappers things.
We should probably
yes.
I
still need to put in the hinge, but right now in the other room the 3D printer is printing the stand so we can actually put them in, and then we'll spray them gold and they'll look like little Grammy awards.
That's so cute. And Rob is saying that everybody here wants to be in a semi-co-op strip, so we need to turn up.
It's fair.
This is going to be a cozy comic.
Hello, Scott. Lovely to see you. And Robert talks about a recent highlight, finding out that Nando's would deliver when Robert thought that they were too far away. So yeah.
So what is Nando's? Is that like?
Are you on? Oh yes. Wait, is Nando's only in Britain?
It's not over here.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
So Nando's is basically a fast food place.
Mm-hmm.
It only sells chicken. It's not quite fast food like McDonald's. It's not quite as fast as that.
It's just a level above.
But yeah, one level above that. I wouldn't say it's definitely not a fancy restaurant. And people say, "Oh, I'm going for a cheeky Nando's," and you go for a Nando's. Basically, unless you're having chicken, you shouldn't go to Nando's. Literally, right. I think they might have something else. I'm not even sure. They have like 5 types of sauce, ranging from like the mild to the spiciest, but none of them are terribly spicy. None of them are going to get you into hospital or anything. And
hey, Dutch Yoda.
Dutch Yoda, who has the birthday week, and birthday week is finishing tomorrow because their birthday was on Sunday.
Done.
And yep, we have already had a conversation about the Netherlands, and I just want to say both these people agree with me that the words Dutch and Netherlands, there's no connection.
No.
Doesn't make sense. I mean, the other name for the Netherlands is Holland, and even that is not Dutch.
To Dutch in any way.
Doesn't make any sense.
And it's just so confusing. And sorry, we'll get to your recent highlights, Rachel, in just a minute. But Jess has enjoyed Mountain Goats the other day. It's from Board Game Tables. Really enjoying quick games at the moment. Yeah, because Jess has a family, and so Alex is already 0.5% completed. Hello, CD. We're going to get to do what we're looking forward to a wee bit later, but right now I'm just looking forward to learning more about these amazing people and talking about their earliest memories. And everyone wants to be in the comic. And Sate says Sate has won several film festivals, and none of the awards were that cool.
Nice.
Nice. Well, then I'm happy the students are going to get a cool award.
Apparently, talking about Nando's. Nando's does exist in New Zealand. That is.
Oh, well, then we're just sort of missing out somehow.
I guess next time we're in the UK,
or in New Zealand. No, probably the UK.
Probably UK. We should check out Nando's.
Yeah.
Huh.
They do apparently serve quite nice halloumi. Well, and Robert says they serve food on a plate, so it's not. So it's kind of definitely one.
Right? Yeah.
That's one step up.
That's one step up. Yeah, I think we have a pizza place that's sort of like fast food, but a step up. So I think I can. It's
the
sort
Happy
of
Italy.
The Happy. I think I sort of can see where this is going.
And Sates asks, should I actually eat that? I mean, it's a cultural phenomenon, but the answers from the chats were no.
Just no. Okay.
And Nando's has apparently the best chocolate cake.
We should probably go to Nando's and get everything except the chicken, because it sounds like they have some good other stuff as well.
I mean, and Dutch Yoda says, blame the English people for the word Dutch. That's true. I mean,
is that true though? I feel
how do you say the word that? Because in Germany, the word for Germany is Deutschland, and the word for German is Deutsch. What's the word for Netherlands in Netherlands?
Netherlands. And we are Nederlanders.
So it's a lot simpler.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, it is all our fault. It's all the English people's fault.
It's probably somebody got it confused with Deutsch, and then they're Deutsch, and then somehow it stuck.
Deutsch.
Yeah. So I'm going to. Maybe we should take a stance and try saying, hey, you're not Dutch, you're Netherlanders. Let's reclaim that word.
Yes. It's a bit longer, but
it is less confusing.
Exactly.
Anyway, so according to Jess, fish and chips is better. Fish and chips is pies, and English cuisine. Holland is only 1/6. You don't need to tell these people.
No, we know.
I have been told that possibly. You say we know, but I know that Holland is a small part of Netherlands. I didn't know it was 1/6. I thought it was a bit more. I'm going to be honest.
It's dependent on how you calculate the 1/6. We have 12 provinces, and 2 of them are Holland.
Yeah, we have South and North.
Holland.
So isn't Holland like the most populous?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
So that's why most people just say Holland, because it's fine. Most of the time, when you mean somebody from the Netherlands or some part of the Netherlands, you mean something in Holland, because that
Are you actually from Holland?
No.
Okay, where actually? I don't normally do this, but where exactly are you from? I normally ask in about 5 minutes' time, but where are you from exactly?
Right. Well, we live in the very east of the Netherlands, in a city called Enschede.
Yeah,
and,
Enschede.
Enschede.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well. Enschede. Yeah, it's about like 6 kilometers from the German border.
Yeah, so it's almost Germany. Let's be honest. We've had friends who are drunk on a bicycle and taking a wrong turn and ended up in Germany. So that's how close we are to the German border.
Oh wow. So you can just pop over for a bit of German bakery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could.
And also the fuel is a lot cheaper. So a lot of people with cars go over to Germany just to get the fuel.
Mm.
And I guess it's about it's a 90-minute drive to Essen. So.
Yeah, so that's perfect for us.
19 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. So yes, I think you mentioning this. You actually sleep at home every night.
No, we've done that 1 year, and we've decided that we weren't going to do that again. But then the irony was, the second year we got a hotel, but it was it was a longer travel time to get to the hotel than it would have been to get to home. Yeah,
mistakes were made.
Okay, so you kind of didn't fully understand where the hotel was when you were booking it.
Well, we didn't understand.
Did you say 19 or 90?
90, so it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half would have been.
We sort of miscalculated how good the German train system was.
Yes, and then we took a cab or a taxi the other day, and it was so expensive, and it still took about 40 minutes. It was like, oh no, next time we'll just go take a bit more expensive hotel a little bit closer to the hole.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a quick hello to Jeroen.
Hello, Jeroen.
Yes, yeah. No, I somehow I got you mixed up with another Jeroen, and I think it was the other Jeroen's birthday. So I almost wished you happy birthday, even though it wasn't your birthday at all.
And hello to Elaine, who I think we were talking about because of Zaya and
Mm-hmm.
But Robert, I'm going to allow all the chaos because it's his Friday. In these pandemic times, as Robert chats to people around the world, Robert might have to explain the difference between England and the UK.
Yeah.
Fair.
Do you find yourself having similar conversations about Holland and Netherlands?
It's fine most of the time. I feel like most people do know that Holland is a different part than the Netherlands. I mean, once you get into the Kingdom of the Netherlands, which also includes some of our old colonies in the Caribbean, which are technically still part of the kingdom, then it gets confusing. But most of the time we don't bring that up because, partly because we're not completely comfortable with the situation and nobody somehow really sees it as part of the Netherlands.
Oh, that gets into the icky parts of history. I guess colonialism and kind of letting people be their own people and how we can undo things that were done in the past. But a little bit of a lighter conversation. Jess talks about what Nando's do cake. Isn't Nando's a bit like middle class teenagers? It is kind of like middle class.
That's a good comparison.
But apparently, CD is a middle-class teenager in spirit.
Exactly. We're all middle-aged teenagers in heart.
Yes.
If it was open this late, I would be on my way there now.
No.
Dutch has the same original as Deutsch. Some English people in the late Middle Age must have thought the Netherlanders were Germans.
I think
there we go.
Yeah. That seems like a plausible explanation.
And... Yep, excitement for the talented Elaine. Elaine has only ever met Dutch people in Germany.
Which, I could see that.
Right.
I mean, was it also all in one city? One very small city?
Yeah, probably, right?
Okay, Stream Elements is reminding me to turn around, which I will do in just a moment. Xate has ended up on a bike in Germany before. Well,
it is not as good as ending up in a bike in the Netherlands, I have to say.
I mean, is a bike in one place better than a bike in the other place?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Netherlands, and this is going to sound very political, but it's Germany's fault. The whole of Dutch culture is based around bicycles, and this is because when we were occupied by Nazi Germany, they took away all our fuel and all our cars. So the whole society switched to bicycles. There's also a classic joke about Germans stealing Dutch bikes, but let's not get into that. So once Second World War were over and the country was very poor, we didn't have the money to get cars and fuels and stuff. So we stuck with the bicycle, and we have a very flat country, so it's fine. So we have a very proud history of turning our cities into very bike-friendly spaces. And also between villages and cities, there's often these things called bicycle highways that you can take and safely take your bicycle across. So having a bicycle in the Netherlands is a very normal thing. There's a lot of people our age that don't even own a car. But if you get into if we see people cycling in London or in Paris, or we go into Germany, we're like, I would feel so unsafe on a bicycle right now because you don't have a good separate bike lane system. There's no car-free zones, stuff like that. So ending up in a bicycle.
There's a bit of separation just in front of the Thames, I want to say. What do they call it? The embankments, I think it's called. Anyway, that whole bit, the stretch in front of the Houses of Parliament up to somewhere to that side of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big long stretch, but it's literally just by the Thames. And this is lovely, but I think, they've been thinking too small. They should just have an entire road, like a major road, that is like a long stretch. It doesn't need to be a straight road even. It could be like a curvy road, but just make sure that at the intersections, bicyclists have the right of way, or there's some sort of traffic light system for them so that cars can, and have a big road coming in one direction. I think that would just be so nice.
Yeah, precisely.
Jess mentions having worked for the Electoral Commission, redrawing boundaries for the UK. I know Jess has done a lot of political work in the past, and that could be a fun thing to send. Yeah. And that is not the Euron. We know that is not the Euron from Twitch.
But he's still lovely.
I'm sure you're still lovely.
Yeah, so we love hanging out with Euron.
Wait, so you do actually know this other Euron?
He came over to our house to play some Gaslands.
Yeah.
And the past couple of weeks, he's been helping me get some games of 18xx in. So.
And lots of applause for the bicycle systems and just wanting to get these things. The cities are bicycle friendly. The cyclists, not all the time.
No, we are pretty rude cyclists, because the Dutch law is if you get into the accident with a bicycle,
it's always the fault of the vehicle and not the cyclist.
Never the cyclist. So you really have to build a strong case if you want to say, no, it's the cyclist's fault. So we get pretty cheeky about how we use the road.
Wow. Oxford and Cambridge are bike friendly, but other places are very car dependent. I would say that most people in London don't have a car at this point because of the congestion charge, because it is so busy, and because the population density has gotten to a point where the commercial vehicles alone are pretty busy on the roads. I am going to say that back in April 2020, I was able to go jogging on the roads, and that was pretty cool, where I live on a place where there are quite a few private vehicles, and so no one was driving them, which was brilliant. So I was just jogging. I mean, I want to be safe. I don't jog on the left-hand lane. I jog on the right-hand lane, so that if the car's coming, I will see it coming from.
Right.
Yeah, but like it's also because I was jogging genuinely on the road so that I could stay away from everyone on the pavement. It was actually safer. That felt like a more appropriate thing to do for me. And this was before I got my first mask. But Euron switched to Twitch to make it extra confusing. Alex lost a passport in Amsterdam. The police officer who took the report was very cool. It turns out he was also a part-time stunt pilot. That's a festival of flight in Oxfordshire.
It's a small world.
That's amazing.
So cool.
Indeed.
There we go.
War in Reading next, and we don't have a car. And this is seen as very odd. And nope, it is not that, Euron. And public transport is really good in London too.
Yeah,
I would say it is kind of expensive. I feel it's more, especially with the tube, it should be better, but it's pretty good. Certainly.
Exactly. Compared to other places, it's really good.
Looking at you, Germany.
Oh, it's so expensive.
As a cyclist, when I commuted to work, I will say there are definitely good and bad cyclists as well. Many times I will stop at red lights and another cyclist goes past me.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
You should never go through a red light.
No, that's just don't. Just don't.
Kids at home, don't try that.
It looks cool in movies, but it's not cool in real.
No.
Yeah, don't be trying to do a car Oh, no. I am not going to. Okay, so we were talking about recent highlights. So, Rachel, what are some of your recent highlights, Rachel?
Oh my God, this is going to be so specific.
It doesn't matter. It's all good.
All right. Well, lately we've been playing with a couple of friends with whom we have more of a digital gaming background. Hello, Aviv. We've been playing a lot of Valheim, and that's like this. It's how would you say? It's an open world.
It's Viking Minecraft.
Yeah. Basically, it's Viking Minecraft. And we've been having a lot of fun. And a recent highlight is that we actually managed to build a tree house in the swamp. And so it was a lot of fun.
That is wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I do not know Valheim.
I understand.
Tell us. Can you? What's good about it? Why do you love it?
Well, it has an addictive element of the traditional survival games. Like, I'm chopping wood, I'm building a house. It's like it has a little farming in there. Oh wow, I find carrot seeds, I plant them, now I have carrots and I can make carrot soup with it, which makes me stronger, etc., etc., etc. And also it's been very fun to to chat and to digitally meet up with our friends more often.
It's been is it kind of like an open world thing? Is it like World of Warcraft type thing?
Yeah, except that we have a Mamorpega. But we have a private server for just like 5 or 6 of our friends, and it's been procedurally generated. So we actually don't know the whole world. So just logging in, seeing if there's some friends online, and just saying like, hey, you want to just walk east for a while and see what the world looks like over there? And it's like, yeah, cool. And then we take screenshots because everybody has like a personal map where they've been. So we've taken screenshots and combined them together. And one friend actually started like illustrated like a communal map of the places we've seen. So it's been like a fun little world.
Exactly.
I have mixed emotions about procedural generation. I mean, if it's as good as, something that's handcrafted, let's say, by a human, then great. But what I don't want is something like, there was a whole thing of No Man's Sky where, you can just go around and say nothing's actually here. And frankly, I would rather have a game where there's, like Fable 2, I was able to play through that in a few days, and then I really enjoyed it. I explored literally everything that I could. It took me less than a week. Yeah. Admittedly, I wasn't doing much else that week, but I did go through like every other side quest, and I did all the things. And then after I'd beaten it all, and then I also, the money is kind of ridiculous. If you get some house and then you set the rent, then you basically get more money than you can possibly ever spend in this game. It's completely broken. But anyway, then I played a second game, and the second game took me like just a day and like 8 hours or something, and I played from start to end, making all the opposite choices. So the first time I was, a caring individual, I was doing nice things, but sometimes I was like, no, that's wrong, I'm going to smite you. And then the second time over, I was like, okay, I'm going to be nice to all the bad people, and I was doing all the exact opposite things just to see what's going on.
Exactly, just to find out the different if the game actually lets you be evil
or be different.
Be different, exactly. Evil is not really the right word. Make different choices.
Although video games do tend towards this kind of binary, don't they? By their very nature, it's black or white, and Fable, it's kind of, okay, you twist this way or twist this way, and there's two axes, good or evil. But Peter Molyneux seems to have this trait and I think that's just, you have to be a little bit reductive in the nature of video games, because it's not like an RPG where you can just have someone who's handcrafting things. Anyway, my point is that I would rather have something that's nicely crafted, lasts a week, and then that's it, rather than even, Red Dead Redemption, the fact that someone said, oh, you could play this for months and not even see so much of it, for me that's actually a scary thing. And
I understand.
I felt I want to be able to really explore this nicely curated thing.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's a sort of like a diminishing return on if you make games bigger, they don't necessarily become better.
I mean, Alex mentions, yes, of course, procedural generated does not mean random. I understand that. But sure, does that mean they're going to stitch together a few things so there's repeated elements and it's just, okay, the position of this is in a slightly different position.
Yeah.
But
I think in games like Tomb Raider, and I think the Steep, which is a snowboarding game from Ubisoft, they start out with a procedurally generated terrain. So just to have something, not to have a completely blank canvas, and they just start to transform it into like a nice guided experience, which I think, looking at how much time games take to make nowadays and how high the quality is, I think that's a good way to approach those things.
I think so too.
So we've got some 3D printed stuff, drawings, and Valheim. Any other recent highlights that you would like to share, yourselves or anyone in chat?
Yeah, let's hear from the chat.
Any games that what's been the last game that you played recently?
I want to say the Wildlands expansion, the Ancients.
Oh, right, yes, that was the last one.
Ooh.
Yes.
Is it good? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I have it back here so I can show you.
It has a beautiful cover. Look at that
really
cover.
Went great on the cover.
That is gorgeous.
It's kind of so much better than the original box. It's a bit annoying. But we really enjoy Wildlands because it is a miniature skirmish game, you could say, but it's completely different because normally they're about, rolling lots of dice and random chance and dramatic moments, and this one is card driven,
and they take long.
Oh yeah, and they tend to take a while. And Wildlands is card driven, so everything it isn't deterministic because you have hidden knowledge, but it's a lot more controlled. The dramatic moments are a lot more intimate and more smaller. It's more like, oh, I shouldn't have played that card 3 turns ago, stuff like that. And it's a lot. It can. I think we can do a 2-player game in 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah. Okay,
certainly.
And this expansion brings in a co-op mode, which is nice, especially because you don't always want to compete, especially in a miniature game, because it's very directly. So it's really cool, and we've tried it one time now.
Yeah, we tried it one time.
It's been Eldritch Horror level hard.
Yeah, it has been a lot harder than a lot of other co-op games we've been playing, actually.
We won our first game literally because of a lucky token flip. And so we sort of felt like, okay, we won that. We really deserve that, and we've been hearing from other people it's been really tough for them as well. So they really upped the difficulty.
I mean, but if it all hinges on that one token flip at the end, then you've made good enough decisions that you've gotten to the point where you can win based on that one token flip.
Fair.
That is fair. But it also, I don't know if anybody recognizes that feeling, but especially with games like Pandemic or Eldritch Horror, there have been games where the game has been beating you down so hard, you sort of already stuck in this emotional, like, this is never going to work out, but we'll just finish it to see how it plays out. And then suddenly, because of the last card flip or some sort of lucky draw, you end up winning, and it sort of feels, even though you haven't cheated, it sort of feels like, no, this isn't completely fair on the game.
So it feels like things came out too perfectly for you.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's like a big high because you're like, everything fell into place, and sometimes it just felt like, no, the game played better than we did, and it just got unlucky in the end.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I will definitely have to check out more of the Wildlands. And we've got a lot of chats about the crew, because Alex, Rob, and Xate played crew. So they've got a crew, so a crew to play the crew.
That's cool.
Yep, crew levels 30
Wow.
to 38.
Wow, that's
crew certainly crewed. And
So with how many
Yes.
players are you playing it? Because we've only played the crew with 2 persons, and I don't think it's as good as a lot of people say, but I kind of think it's because we're just playing it with 2.
Yeah.
I mean, on the box, it says 3 to 5, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the 2 is a variant.
Oh, yeah, that's a game variant.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. Like with Jarvis, I've read through it. I would be interested to try it. I would definitely like to play it 2 players. But I think that, it's at a point where you've got to run another AI. It's not really the full game, is it?
No, and you can sort of... There's a certain amount of control you can actually have over the AI, which sort of...
Oh, yeah. True.
Sort of feels like, oh yeah, we've got this little brother playing with us and we're sort of cheesing our way through it.
One says the crew of a crew of 2 is too few.
That is a good way of putting it. It probably is.
The crew with a crew of 2 is too few.
Nice.
I like that.
I like that, yeah.
Xate has played with 2, 3, and 4.
But do you like it better with more than 2 players? That's my big question.
Needs to try 5 players, but Xate likes 4-player best so far.
Well,
good to know.
Good to know. We'll try.
If you want to play it on Board Game Arena, Xate will not quite literally.
No,
but, I mean, like maybe not when she's asleep, but pretty much. If you want to say, "Hey, we want to play it on Board Game Arena," okay, Xate and 4 more people. Let's play it.
Form a crew.
Yeah, let's form a crew.
Exactly. A crew.
Well, not too few.
But not too few.
Yeah, let me actually try and work through these comments because... So, Heroin is talking about 18XX, always good, and finally started Pandemic Legacy Season 1 after not playing for 2 years.
Yes.
That's a great game. I love Season 1.
Yeah, Season 1 is great.
Yes.
I mean, Season 2 is good too, but it's not as... Maybe because it's the second one, but I think the Season 1 really, really nailed it. The whole concept.
I recently watched Tom Vassel's top legacy games, and Tom Vassell put like all 3 of them. It was 2, 1, then 0 on top. How would you have you played 0? I've not played 0 at all
because we've played 1 and 2 with the same group of friends, and right now it's illegal to have 2 friends over,
so we can't actually play it.
So we can't play it.
We will play it once. Well,
it's legal again.
It's legal again, exactly.
Okay. So, I mean, just because one person likes that one a little bit more doesn't mean that you'll like it a little bit more.
Oh,
so
no.
I think it's that old thing of keep your expectations low, but your hopes high.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 2 was great too. Yeah.
Corsari. I don't know this game.
I want to get excited, but then you said it's out of print. What is Corsari? Should I just rudely Google it?
Yeah, maybe I could find it on a page and show everyone the Corsari Board Game Geek. And
it looks kind of...
Are there any photos that I'm allowed to show?
It looks like a piratey coupe sort of
it's
game.
from Rio Grande Games. Okay.
Is it? Wait. It took me to IGO for some reason.
That is...
Is IGO the same game as Corsari? Oh, yes, it says. Okay, it's a retheming. IGO and Corsari are different. It's like a retheme. Okay, this one, commercial use allowed. There we go. Thank you to Da Clown for uploading this with the commercial use allowed license. And I am going to share my screen so everyone can see. That is what the box cover looks like.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this game is.
I have no idea what's going on, but the art is interesting.
It's kind of like an evil pirate. Well, it's not really a pirate, but it has a pirate. I
don't know.
I assume it's a pirate.
It's called Corsari, so you would say pirate.
Yeah.
I mean, they're quite hollow-eyed, and is it looks like they're wearing quite a modern shirt or something. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's like they're wearing a wee t-shirt.
Huh.
So it also seems like quite a bad fuzzy photo. Dutch Yoda played Quacks with both expansions last night. First impressions for Alchemists are good.
Excellent.
Alex hopes the crew was not too crude.
No.
Oh no.
It was.
Game Cupboard had the semi-co-op t-shirts arrive yesterday.
Yes.
Love them and can't wait to wear them.
Did you get any of the new designs? Because normally we tend to order a test print of everything, but this time we didn't. So if you have one of the new designs, please take a picture and send us, because we're very curious how they turned out.
Yeah.
Ooh. So you didn't get one sent over for yourself, it's just going straight to everyone.
Yeah, in this case we did, because you sort of designed a couple of things and then you ordered test prints, and then suddenly you realized I want to create some more pattern-based designs.
They were a bit I'm looking for the word here.
Spontaneous.
Yeah. Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. All right. They were a bit spontaneous, and well, it's a print-on-demand store anyway. So I was like, I'll order some later. They just look good. The example looked good, so kind of trusted it would go right.
I think that there's definitely a point at which, I mean, it's not ideal, but you are allowed to cut a few corners and hopefully everything will be all right. As long as if things go badly, you are willing to correct them.
Oh, precisely.
Yeah, and we've had a couple of misprints, test prints delivered to our house, and they've always taken care of it, the company that prints it. So
they're
we
very
were
good.
like, if somebody's orders this and it turns out it's not okay, then we can just confidently say like, hey, just contact this person and
you'll get a new product.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even need to see
the original
one of which you're not content with. They'll just send you a new one. So
wow, that's amazing service.
It's amazing customer service.
It's been really good.
Yeah.
Talking about co-op games, Alex loves it when your likelihood of both winning and losing increases as you near the end. If you're one turn away from either end point, that's usually a fun experience.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
You need that the emotions need to go up.
Jess mentions it depends whether you know that the perfect ending is possible. That's Pandemic Season 2 was a bit like that. No spoilers, but there were a few bits where it was very much, we know there is a bad card and a good card, 50% chance we win, 50% chance we lose.
We actually, we sort of guessed it, but we sort of anticipated the ending of Season 2. Like, this is probably how the last couple of scenarios will play out. And we guessed correctly. So by the time December rolled in, and it was like, this is the goal. And it's like, that is exactly what we've planned for. So December was like a 3 or 4 turn situation.
Yeah. The stars perfectly aligned and everything was on the right place on the map. And it just like, oh, whoa, this is going smoothly.
We were, I mean, definitely, no spoilers, but I felt like, firstly, we actually got one rule wrong in our benefit.
Right.
I will say with the quarantine specialist, make sure that you read that card carefully. And just everything, make sure you read it carefully, because if you make a mistake, that's the nature of legacy games.
Yeah.
But, then we said, okay, well, it doesn't make too big a difference. But we were also slightly lucky with some parts, and there's the whole aspect of, should you know what's coming up? How much should previous things matter? Like, are you going to feel cheated? Like, you've made this decision, you had nothing to base it on, but then randomly, hey, this would have been better than the thing that you chose. Are you going to feel cheated?
You want to drop some hints, like, this is probably what's coming up. So we just went all in and we deduced correctly. So the ending felt a bit like an easy victory for us.
Yeah.
For Season 1, did you get, and I'm trying to think if this is a spoiler, it's very, very, very mild spoiler. So I'm going to put up this banner, and if you don't want to hear the spoilers, then mute until this banner has gone. So you know how there's multiple victories. Did you get the best one?
No, with season 1 we ended up somewhere in the middle, and season 2 we did get the best ending.
Yeah.
Because with season 1, when you say it was a very easy victory.
No, season 2.
Oh,
we had the easy victory
okay.
season 2.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Spoilers
so no
removed.
more spoilers.
Welcome back.
So if you did mute yourself, then thank you for staying with us and welcome back. That was a very, very mild spoiler.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would not even consider that a spoiler. Some people are so sensitive with spoilers. Like I opened My City and I was just looking through the envelopes, and someone said, "Oh, you shouldn't see the title of the envelopes."
It's difficult. It's the same problem we have on Instagram. If we are playing, for example, Gloomhaven or something, it's always a bit of a balance between what can we show, what can't we show. The game is already like 3 years old.
I think it's out for 3 years now, and I think it has shifted a bit. So in the beginning, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you can't show this scenario because it's spoilers," and by now I have at least a while ago we posted like, "Oh, look at this ridiculous scenario," and it actually was mostly people like, "Oh yeah, that is the worst." So I think we've sort of gotten to that point where Gloomhaven is fine to.
Well, as long as you don't reveal story elements.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's the most important one.
Yeah.
For sure, like I definitely wouldn't be showing the cards. I mean, like I did a review of Pandemic Legacy Season 1 where I spent the first half of it saying, okay, this is a game, no spoilers. And then I said, okay, from now on, I am going to spoiler everything. Because a couple of people said, yes, I would be interested in your thoughts on the game with spoilers. Because for me, I understand that you want to share your thoughts without spoilers. I think this is a really interesting whole position, but then someone has to give that criticism, like that critique, if we are to grow as an industry, if we are to think, was this a good game?
Right.
I mean, with books, people have navigated this with narratives in books, trying to say the writing at this part was substandard, but also saying, okay, let's deconstruct. I'm trying to think of, I don't know, like Pride and Prejudice. Let's deconstruct and spoil. I'm not going to say the words, but let's deconstruct the way that Bleep ended up with Bleep, and then it's and the way that hints were shown for Bleep. And I mean, let's deconstruct the writing in later chapters, because this is the way that we grow as an industry. And if we are to take narratives and this kind of stuff seriously, then we need to be, willing to say not everything has to be perfectly pristine. Things have to be good enough that even after you know a little bit of it, if you know Studio Ghibli, if you know the plots ahead of time, and I remember reading a book where someone said, I am going to tell you the plots of all these films, because I do not believe that whilst there is a joy in learning the plots for the first time, I also believe that the joy of these films, even if you've not seen them, you'll still have joy in seeing how it unfolds, because they're so beautiful and just, anyway, it's a really difficult thing, but we are, of course, blethering a lot. Sate says, I am halfway through the Crew Deep. No, it's not Deep Space, is it? It's something like Crew in the Deep. It's like deep underwater.
It's underwater, right?
Yeah. But it's only at 2 players, because in real life, it is too crude to play the crew with a crew of 2.
It's too crude. This is pretty much.
You're too crude. Sate says, if she's asleep, you can wake her to play the crew. The crude creed creates crude crews.
The crew creates crude crews. Oh man.
Wow.
That's a bit like the one we have in Dutch.
Ja, de kat krabt de krullen van de trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even worse, de koetsier poetst de postkoets. That's just the worst one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Love those sentences.
Just preferred season 2. Alex was a few months into season 2 when lockdown started, and then it felt weird to suggest playing
That's pretty weird.
Mm-hmm.
We have a campaign of the King's Dilemma going on, which was halted because of the whole lockdown. And now actually 2 of the players have a baby together. So we've been joking like the houses have merged, and politically the whole campaign is now completely different.
True.
And people are waiting to play Pandemic with 3 players. And I think that it's all about the table talk. It's all about having... I mean, what's your thoughts on the alpha gamer problem? Because for me, if you try to solve the alpha gamer problem, then you're making it a worse game for its intended audience. Because for me... it was actually 5 of us around the table. So 2 players, Chris and McCall, were playing as one character, and there was the occasional week where one of us couldn't make it, so it was just 4 of us around the table. As long as there were 4 of us, we would still play. And if there were 3, we'd be okay, we'll skip this week. But would you agree that something like Hanabi or something over time pressure, whilst those can be great games in their own right, you want to have that potential alpha gamer problem because it allows you to have that in-depth conversation and for everyone to have the chat.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I'm a teacher, because I do a lot of like practical courses. It's really easy for a teacher to say, oh no, this is how you do it, and then do it, and then the student has their problem solved, but they didn't learn anything. So I think the alpha game is sort of the same way. It's okay if you're better at the game, or you have a better way of constructing possible solutions, but you should be able to present it. And when people don't want to go with it, then you should be able to let go and say, okay, this is fine. I've made my case. They don't want to go for it because they see it as a suboptimal illusion, or they just want to see what happens if they don't. And then you should be able just to say that, okay, that's fine. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think it's about having the negotiation within your group, I feel.
Right.
And
Yes.
it's about that discussion. And because you have to enforce social rules for your group, and Senfung Glim said something like, it's a social problem, and as a social problem, it's better fixed by social rules rather than game rules.
Yeah, I mean, what you said, like Hanabi, there are interesting concepts that can be created while trying to prevent the alpha gamer problem, but I think it's more of a social problem.
Yeah.
I am a wee bit behind with the comments, I see. Rob has a shout out for a Rise of Queensdale. Oh, sad times that you're not able to play it. I completely understand. I'm just sad that I can't play games in general. So that is the Pirates cards game. They remade it and stripped the theme entirely. Why wouldn't you?
That is a shame.
We'll play Pandemic Season 0 when we meet up again. Playing over Zoom is a bit tricky. You really have to know each other very well for it to work.
Okay.
And the game cupboards are going to send you photos, and they got the board game horrors and the semi-co-op play.
Cool. Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent. So it's always. It says it's always the words that are the same, basically, that you can think of. Happens to me all the time.
Yes.
Yep.
I do not like 50% chance to win based on a coin flip. Wet Heroes. Oh, get me back to my dry Heroes table.
Yeah,
what's wrong with Wet Heroes? They dissolve during gameplay.
Nice.
Okay. And Pandemic Season 1 was fairly easy for the first 3 months. great fun, but yep.
Oh, don't worry. There will be surprises.
Yes, it will change. It will change.
Yeah, it will change. I think March is sort of the first big twist, so don't worry.
Yes, if you imagine, is this going to happen? Yeah, you can probably make some expectations.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Say I mean, I'm not going to
That's
say
fine.
you have to play it. I'm not going to say you must play it. I'm not going to say don't play it. Play it if you want.
Yeah,
I mean, listen to the first bit of my review or ask me when we're chatting. And I, frankly, you don't like cooperative games, and I know you like The Crew, but
I mean, there are a lot of classic games we haven't played, and that's fine.
And I mean, I want to say, if you're interested in game design, to study it, or maybe to do your own games, then Pandemic is probably a good game to visit. Yeah, because it's so much the basis for not every co-op, but a lot of co-ops that came after it. So it's good to see where it sort of originated. But otherwise, it's fine. You can play any co-op.
I would say it's worth trying original Pandemic once, maybe, like if someone's got it out and you come across it, give it a go and like, because why not? New game, it's a good game, but don't feel like you have to chase it or anything.
There's no shame in not having played a game.
No.
100%. I hate this kind of, you've not played Settlers of Catan, or you've not played Magic the Gathering, and
have you not played Carcassonne? Carcassonne? Oh no! I don't think I ever played a full game of Carcassonne.
Really?
No.
Have you played what? So you've started a game?
Well, I think I don't remember actually ever starting a game, but somehow I do have a visual in my head of the game on the table. So I
think we played
one game.
No, not the original Carcassonne, but like Carcassonne, the Amazon or something.
Oh right, yes, we did play one variant.
Oh, that was the one where you collect the fish and the other two resources, and then you trade them in for points.
Yes.
So that's kind of like Carcassonne Plus, where it adds a tiny bit of complexity to it.
Yeah, exactly. And I've played some regular Carcassonne, and I just mostly remember that I don't completely understand the farmer rule every time I play.
Oh, so Elaine is saying that it's always the same. If you're familiar with the genre, if you know what, you can sometimes guess what's going to happen.
It's pretty tropey.
Jess was like, hey, what's going on here? Is it... I mean, that's a good sign. I mean, maybe it's a bit too scattered, but that's good if it's not cleanly fitting into one thing. Lots of love to Xate. And Dutch Yoda wants me to say, de Kutsia puts de Kuts met post Kutsin puts.
That is actually pretty fluid.
Yes, I think that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Oh, wow. What does it mean?
It means... So a koets is a horse carriage?
Yes, exactly, carriage.
Okay. So the carriage driver is buffing the horse carriage with a male carriage buffing cream, sort of.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to say it one more time. But the Kutsia Poost, I mean, I feel like I should make this a points reward thing to get me to say things. De Kutsia Poost, de Kuts met post Kutsen Poots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, in Dutch it's a little bit more crude, probably. It would be de Koetsier poets de koets met post Koetsen Poets. Oh my god.
De Kutsia Poots, de Kuts met post Kutsen Poots.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh no.
De knappe kapper kapt heel knap maar hits knapje van de knappe kapt nog knappe dan de knapper kappen kan.
Yes.
Oh no.
De knappe kapper kapt heel knap, maar het knaapje van de knappe kapper kapt nog knapper dan de knappe kapper kan.
There.
So, yeah. Which is a correct sentence.
It is. I am
so
impressed.
I'm just getting up for a quick jiggle and wriggle. Just
Okay,
to...
I'll translate that sentence while you're busy. So it means the handsome barber is good at cutting hair, but the little assistant of the handsome barber is even better barber than the handsome barber.
Oh, okay. So basically, so why are they only an assistant? So basically, maybe it's just because the barber is so handsome. It's like, yeah, this is unfair. Maybe it's because there've just been some sort of geriarchy. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
Maybe I got Amazon and South Seas. I think I'm trusting Robert to make.
No, I think Robert is right. I think we played the South Seas and not the Amazon one.
Okay. And lots of love, CD.
Yes.
Enjoy your bedtime. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
And the driver of the carriage polishes the carriage with carriage polish.
Polish. Yeah.
But
no, it's more specific because it's not just carriage polish. It's mail carriage.
Polish.
Yeah.
Meal carriage or mail.
Mail, like
you know, envelopes.
Documents. Okay.
Mail.
Mm-mm. And yeah, this is going to be the last tongue twister that I allow. Otherwise, we need to kind of
we need a special show for this.
Yeah. Do tasks.
Oh yeah, the classic one.
Lintje leer de lutje lopen langs de lange lindalen, maar toen lotje niet lopen liet. Lintje lotje zomaar staan.
Lintje leerde Lotje lopen langs de lange lindenlaan, maar toen Lotje niet wou lopen, liet Lintje Lotje zomaar staan.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful and pretty when you say it. So, also, S is st in S is sh.
ST is st.
St.
Oh, I thought you said stan.
Yeah, staan.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I heard zomaar stan.
Yeah, zomaar
so it's like
staan. Yeah.
Maybe it's just my mishearing. I heard a little bit of a sh. But what is... Yeah.
So this one is a bit harder to translate as there's a lot of names in it. So you've got... I'm going to assume they're two girls.
I think so, yeah.
I'm not completely sure because these are old Dutch names. So you've got one girl that's called Leentje and you've got one girl that's called Lotje. And Leentje learned Lotje how to walk. And then de Lange Lindenlaan is just a street name.
Yeah.
So Leentje learned Lotje how to walk, but when Lotje didn't want to walk, Leentje left Lotje behind.
Yeah.
I am going to call the things there. Yep. The handsome barber gets more tips. So exactly. So this.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
The barber is handsome because his hair is cut by the assistant.
This is probably the backstory of that.
I like that
classic sentence.
Is this like she sells seashells on the seashore?
Yes, very much.
I think she's seen the language before. And okay, that is the end of what we've been up to.
Yes.
This is
We're getting somewhere.
Okay, so questionably quick questions. Frankly, you can ask, where exactly are you? Remind me of the name of your city, and what time is it?
It's in Enschede, and it's 12. So noon, I would say. The English language. Enschede.
Very well.
Enschede.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Okay, Enschede. Okay, so what you're saying is that theoretically, if Essen were to happen, and I were to not need to come back I could come to Enschede if there were no COVID, and maybe we could go skipping together.
Yes.
Through the fields.
Yep.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of good forest and fields around, so we totally could.
Would we be able to hang out and play a game?
Yes.
Always.
And
we'll arrange a bike for you.
I mean, are bikes quite cheap to rent, or do you mean you'll borrow some from someone else?
We'll make it happen. You can get bikes in many ways over here.
That sounds pretty awesome.
That sounds shady as well.
Well, one of the cheapest ways to get them shady.
But we don't do that.
No.
And hello, Jos van Tongeren. Goedemiddag.
Goedemiddag.
I am not allowed in an unprecedented move. I feel really mean now, but yeah, we can't have the whole show
about tongue twisters.
About Dutch. No,
we can't.
Okay.
But I did saw Jeroen Driehuis say Hottentotten tenten tentoonstelling, which is just a great word.
Okay. Favorite player color?
I'm gonna go yellow.
Yeah, I'm often, well, if you're not taking yellow, I'd be taking yellow, but otherwise I think blue. Or depending on my hair
color. What's your
color.
favorite blue? Do you prefer a kind of light pale blue, or do you prefer a dark blue?
Probably a bit more the greenish turquoise. Not too light, not too dark. It's complicated. Colors are complicated.
So on a RGB scale, would it be like free DD? Like that?
No, a bit lighter and a bit more towards the green spectrum of them.
Okay, so 7/7.
Yes, I love this.
Yeah, I like this better. Yeah.
Okay, so that is your favorite player color.
Yeah, if it's available. Or purple, or it kind of depends on the color of my hair, actually. I noticed that when I had a red-orange hair, I would more often go for the red-orange player colors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hello, Bodhi. It is lovely to have you join us. Thank you very much for jumping in. It says you can get a bike from the train station for just €1 per day. That's quite amazing.
That is true. That is the official way of getting a
cheap bike
at the station. Yeah.
Wow. So, if you had a pair of magic wedding style rings where anything passed through one emerges out of the other.
Ooh.
So basically a tiny
portal.
But it's like the size of a ring.
Huh.
What would you do with them?
So this probably is cheating, but probably some sort of cable shenanigans. So put like a cable through it. So
why is that cheating?
Well, because it's still one cable, because it's just one part of the cable's on the other end of the portal. But probably something like that.
Oh, that's smart.
I mean, why would you use that for a cable?
Well,
and you've only got one of these. I mean, surely you can think of a better use than just extending your cable.
It's well, it's just, it depends on what the space between the rings is. But there's a lot of for example, we've got a lot of synthesizers we tend to hook up with a lot of cables, and then I can just put the ring on my desk and put the other ring on a friend's desk, and we can synthesizer together. I mean,
you know what? I wonder if that would allow you to make music together and not have lag.
Exactly.
Although there would still be like a tiny split second, because even if you are playing keyboards and singing yourself, you kind of sometimes, depending on the processor, you might see a tiny bit of lag.
Yeah, but I could make music with friends without lag over great distances.
Like as long as you've hooked it up correctly, like just get it to normal. Yeah, you could totally make music remotely. That would be so cool.
So, right? That's why I would use it for a cable.
True. A lot of magic can go through
sorry,
cables.
I dismissed your idea, Heinze. I am so sorry. I am won over by your idea. Okay.
Yes, excellent.
I mean, I understand it, because the physical object of a cable is not interesting,
It's
but
not-
everything that goes through a cable,
That's
where the
exciting part.
magic happens.
I mean, and I probably use it to secretly deliver tiny chocolates through it.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say cupcakes, but they would be very
tiny cupcakes.
Or I should have
Like
really
they're
big
literally the
fingers.
width of your fingers. So
Yeah.
I think even for a small chocolates, you'd have to quite often cut them into half.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe if you had little long things.
Yeah,
but-
right. Like one of those minty chocolate.
Oh,
those are quite.
right.
You can.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah, that'll work.
I like this.
Cables are
Modular
food.
boards, great or meh?
Oh, a good question.
It can be good.
I want to say most of the time meh, actually. But
every game, I mean, it's very good for the replayability of a game. I mean, take a game like Cerberus or Next versus Minions.
Okay, so it's great if it doesn't get too complicated. So, for example, Gloomhaven is just a beast to set up every time, and Imperial Assault as well. You have just several. We put them into like big envelopes. So we have several envelopes. We have to get the right one, and we have to put it back. So that's why it's nice to have like a big board you can just fold open and go.
I want to say that there's lots of talk about the things. Those rings would be great for passing peanuts to each other.
That would totally
Magic Portal, and he makes Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that is true.
But Aviv says it's brilliant to use it for cables, cable management, cable extensions. But wireless phone charger now with patented ring technology. But I like Alex's idea. I think is the best. One in the sea and one above a water wheel. Hydropower for everyone.
Yes, this is the winning answer. This is what we should be doing with portals. Create free, sustainable energy.
Yeah, that's better than food, certainly. Yeah.
Okay.
So. I think, did you come up with the question and then the answer? But and talking about modular boards, right? I mean, Settlers of Catan, the version that I think it was Simply Fun, where you don't have all the tiles separately, you have them as strips. Do you know that one?
No, I don't, but it sounds like a good idea.
So, how many tiles does Settlers of Catan have? Someone reminds me. It's all the numbers from 1 to 3.
12? But some are on the board more often. I want to say 12 times 2. I want to say 24. Plus the desert.
Robber.
Right.
So 25. I'm going to...
Is that right? 7. Anyway, however many it is, it takes a bit of time to set up. And you don't need that much modularity. You don't need that much replayability, I don't think. I mean, the replayability comes through, the numbers rolled anyway, and the other tiles that you place down on. But it feels like, make it easier to set up. Imperial Assault, Jeroen says bags with tiles per expansion and then sorted 1 to 9, 10 to 19, etc.
It isn't ideal.
No.
And say stop poo-pooing people's, but I appreciate the realism.
This is a whole thing about how much water pressure are you able to get through that portal. That will depend on
if you have the one ring at the absolute bottom of the ocean, there's a lot of downward pressure.
You would say, right?
Mm-mm. And so on the other side, you get it with the water wheel.
You get a higher speed, so you get power a heavier wheel.
I mean, you probably won't be able to get sustainable energy for everyone, but sustainable energy for someone at least.
That's the start.
Anyway, so modular boards. You are meh.
Yeah, most of the time meh.
Well, unless there's an exploration element.
Yeah, because then you need.
I do enjoy.
Board. That's true.
The killer part.
That's very true. So modular board setup. Do you need it? Modular setup exploration adds to the theme, adds to the suspense, adds to the surprise.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Need a bike? Just visit the train station and check for unlocked bikes. That sounds really no.
I have actually
don't do that.
I have left unlocked bikes at the station.
You've also lost locked bikes.
I've also lost
the station.
No, but so this is a bit of student culture. But I remember helping a friend move because he graduated, so he didn't need his student room anymore, and then we were left with his bike, and we sort of just left it on the station because we knew somebody would pick it up.
Yeah, I remember someone else also wanting to get rid of a bike and just leaving it out in the middle of nowhere. Although in London, where I live, I'm fortunate to have someone who you can sort of just give them stuff and they let you use their tools for nothing. Like you can just go in and then they let you use the tools. It's in the park. Although I've not been there for a while, I assume it's all shut. But when I needed a new pannier, I went in and I said, "Oh, this got stolen. It broke. Can you help me?" And he said, "Oh, well, here, have this one." And I think they ended up basically just giving me it, which was awesome of them.
That's great. Yeah.
What's the best game store?
Well, there's
our friendly local gaming store is the best game store.
Yeah, it's the best.
I mean, it's called Comicasa.
Yeah,
it's in the center of Enschede.
And we've been coming there for 14 years now, I think.
Mm-hmm. And it's in this beautiful old building. So it's it just looks amazing from the inside. I can't really show you right now, but...
Yeah, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
And we know the owners well, and the partner of one of the owners designed and made our wedding ring. And so it's more than a game store for us. It's like part of the social fabric.
Yes.
That is the best time when a game store... I mean, Dave Salisbury, Dave Salisbury, Fanboy Free, talks all the time about the third space culture, because you've got your home, you've got the workspace, which sadly nowadays it's the same space.
It's the same space.
You want this third space, which is kind of a community space, whether that's the park or a pub or like a meeting place, or this is what game shops can offer. Because if game shops are literally just selling you the thing, well then... why not go online? But it's when you go there and there's a friendly owner, you get some social, maybe in leisure games in London where a couple of times a week there's gaming nights, and once a month there's hey, it's family gaming days, so everyone jump in and we will play the games. And I've had so many good times just sitting in the store on a table. Maybe I do a lot of drawing that day and showing off my own games. That's where I actually, on the day that Inner Bind was officially released, 1st of August, and I've done it every day from 2015 to 2019. I skipped 2020 for obvious reasons. But I would always spend 1st of August at a table, and then anyone who came in, I would explain some of my...
that's so cool.
That's so cool.
If you come onto my show, I will change the color, and it's a bit of whimsy as well. Points means that if you want me to change it so that you can change the color again with points, then sure, points will mean that I definitely change it, but I'm always allowed to do things. Like same with a song. I can sing a song just because I want a song. The fact that you also get song for points doesn't mean I don't sing normally. Exactly. Cards or tiles? Which do you prefer? I'm going to say cards, but I'm not going to hold it against you.
No, I'm going to say cards as well, because they're just more versatile.
Wondering to something like so which board game describes each of your personalities best?
Oh no.
I would say for me, it's might be a game wherein you blether, a Scottish word meaning to talk at length at a fast rate without necessarily making very much sense, using as many word cards as possible, as use... I can't remember the rest of the title. But it's kind of silly. It's all about the performance. It's all about being the center of attention. But it's something joyful, I like to think. And there's something kind of slightly anarchic and slightly cheeky about the fact that, I don't have the box. My box is in London. But having a box that the title is all you see on the entire box. How about you?
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna get mine.
Oh, you're gonna get yours? I have no idea where mine is.
Ooh.
I want to say probably. Oh no, I wanted to say that one. Okay, this is our pick then.
no.
We're both.
You can have the same ones. That's okay.
We apparently have the same.
Okay, why does that describe you?
Well, I was gonna say it's beautifully illustrated and it has very nice colors, and that is everything that I enjoy.
Oh, interesting.
And because of it's a bit laid back, there's like an exploration part, story part. Which is gonna be your thing?
Well, pretty much the second thing. I thought you were just gonna say I like the art, but I was like, oh, there's an exploration thing, and it's not the most serious of games. And
No,
it's
exactly. It's
So, Above and Below by Ryan Lockhart.
Yeah.
There we go. And Xate, what's the sound of your favorite colors?
That is a good question. Is that what color is that?
it's water, bluish.
Ah, nice.
So,
like
maybe
that.
I shouldn't have said the actual color so that people could guess. But
Well,
I
we
have-
already talked about, what color you prefer to
Yeah.
play. So,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the thing is that I am colorblind. The reason why I play yellow because it's often the easiest to see at a glance on the table. So that's why I prefer yellow when I'm playing a board game. But I don't actually know what would be my favorite color.
that's okay.
It's okay.
You don't have to have favorites.
No, so I don't know what the sound would be.
maybe
Sorry.
everything all at once, like white noise.
White noise.
White noise. That's
I like
nice.
it.
Okay.
I mean, it's always interesting to see, like, to imagine sounds with more abstract concepts. So it's cool. Yeah, white noise is nice.
Boy, I assume you mean Betrayal at House of the Hill. Yeah, because exactly what Rachel was talking about. It's using that for the exploration and the surprise. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
And if we have the ocean, you can
Don't get-
stick something up there. Or that animals don't pass through the ring or anyway.
We're gonna assume the animal can just safely pass through, right? Hopefully.
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm wondering, are we going to destroy all the life at the bottom of the ocean now?
We don't want that.
No.
I mean, we don't. I'm just
We
Okay, cards or dice?
I'm gonna go with
Cards.
cards again, because you. Let's be honest. You can simulate a die through
With
cards with a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Okay, I am. Can you interpret Dutch Yoda's question in a? Yes. How would you interpret that, or would you prefer to pass?
Let's just assume we're doing the game, and then the below is more of the exploring the underground, and the above is more of the village building. Let's interpret the question that way.
So
Then
who's
I
more
would-
of a builder? Who is more of an explorer? I like that.
Well, in above and below, I would totally be more below.
Yeah, I think so. I would be more of the builder.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
we solved this problem nicely.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes.
Okay, boom, and fist bump.
Oh,
Wait. Oh, shoot. No, wait.
Yay! Okay. I imagine there would be some protective filter. It doesn't actually need to be C. It could be a dedicated
Okay,
pool, but my first thought was to C. Anyway, let me get to some super quick questions. Books or podcasts? Rachel.
Oh, no. Nowadays, I'm going to say podcasts. I mean, if it is to consume them, I mean, I love pretty books, but I don't have the time to read them, or I don't take the time to read them.
Podcasts don't look nice on the shelf.
No, exactly. But, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, podcasts as well.
What's the last one you listened to? Rachel.
It's a Dutch one from a few of your colleagues, actually, about autism.
Oh.
It's called Kopzorgen.
Koplopers.
Koplopers. Koplopers.
Yeah,
For
so-
any Dutch people listening.
Yeah, so two of my colleagues have decided to start a podcast talking about how it is for them to have
No, not autism. No.
ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
not autism.
No. My bad. It's something completely different. Anyway, that's it.
HDAD. And it's been good.
Mhm.
I think, what is the last thing I've listened to?
I mean,
Not addicted.
It was
really
probably
been that long.
No, it hasn't been that long. But I've been doing a bit of a board gaming exploration, like looking at new channels, looking at listening to new podcasts. But I'm not completely
You don't
sure.
need to say exactly the last
I
one.
don't
It was
know which
just
one.
something
Sorry.
you listened to. It doesn't matter. I was just looking for some sort of name.
Yeah.
But comics. What was the last comic that you read? And did you like it?
The last webcomic I read was Real Life Comics yesterday morning, which is great.
Okay.
It is returned, and because it's always been one of those classic webcomics I read when I was a teenager, and it was silent for a couple of years, and now May has transitioned her gender, so she's been talking about that and how it's been to and she's having a lot of fun with it, but it's also, she's married, she has a daughter, and all of a sudden she realized that, oh no, I want to transition. So it's been really fun to see her old form of humor applied to this new world that she's in, which has been really cool.
Right.
I'll be interested to check that out. How about you, Rachel?
The last comic I read was, I think it was the second Critical Role comic. Yeah.
Cool.
It was okay.
And meatballs or plastic figurines?
This is a hard one. If you would have asked standees, then it would have been standees. But probably, it sort of depends. How many are you going to have on the board? So you have, for example, Plunderbunt. Everybody's always nagging on Plunderbunt because it doesn't have miniatures, but there are just too many miniatures on the board if it would have miniatures. So there, the meeples work really well. So if you have a certain hero character, I would say mini. If it's just more of a general, general like worker force, then meeples.
And how about you, Rachel?
I'm going to go with meeples. I mean, I love miniatures, but I'm never going to paint them. So they're always gray.
Okay. And final question. If you were to have a convention, okay, right now, let's say it was magically safe right now.
Yes.
You've got everyone that you could possibly want to play games with.
Aww.
What would, and everyone's kind of like in a big room together, what would be, you can say more than one option, but what would be the first game that you'd want to play? To start off, to say, okay, great, we can play games together after you've maybe, I don't know, maybe go around and you give everyone hugs because it's, now it's suddenly safe to do so. What game would you want to sit down and say, okay, we're going to play this?
I wouldn't sit down, and I would try to get a game of Two Rooms and a Boom running.
Fair. Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, if there are a lot of people, totally. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm imagining, like, just magically tomorrow, okay, we have 200 of your favorite people.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with your answer. Yeah.
Yeah, and if if Kelvin was there, I'd probably ask him if we could play Twilight Imperium, because I'm never going to play it otherwise, and I want to play it.
But which one would, but Two Rooms and a Boom first?
Yeah, because I want to see a lot of people, and I want to have weird short interaction with them, and I want to see confused faces like, what is my role, and what are we doing?
What is going on?
Yeah, I like that notion. I would definitely look for something with a high player count for sure.
Yeah.
And our final thing, our final regular section is, what's a brilliant thing? Brilliant thing? What's the little thing which is brilliant? So you are allowed to share anything, whether it's some sorts of chocolates or some sorts of 3D model of chocolates, or whether it's abstracts, noun, or anything that you want.
Well, interesting that you would mention a 3D model of chocolate. Okay, so this is a bit of a story. How to keep this concise. I used to run a lot of events to get people excited about technology. And at one point we needed people to get interested into algorithms, and they're very boring. But then we wrote this big competition to say, create an algorithm that can create Victory Boogie Woogie like painting. So Victory Boogie Woogie is at least in the Netherlands, a famous abstract art piece by Peter Mondrian, which is mostly just squares. So you can get a computer to generate it. And then I ask a famous mathematician to be in the jury to grade those algorithms that were created. And we thought it was going to be a small competition, but it turned out more than 70 people sent something in. So she had a lot of work grading all those algorithms to see which one was the best. And then I said to her, well, I owe you forever now, because this sort of got out of hand. And she was like, oh, I'm gonna uphold this promise. So a few years later, she's like, okay, we have these Tony Chocolonely bars, like, and we'll open this up.
Well, you talk, I'll open it up.
And the Tony Chocolonely bars are a company started by a Dutch journalist, actually, to get a chocolate production chain going that is not dependent on slavery, because that sounds pretty normal, but it isn't, because slavery is pretty present in the chocolate industry. So he decided to create this brand, and it's become this big Tony Chocolonely brand. And part of it is that the chocolate bars aren't evenly distributed.
Yes.
And the idea behind it is because the chocolate industry isn't fair and evenly distributed, our chocolate bars shouldn't be evenly distributed to symbolize that unfairness. And this famous mathematician gave a lot of talks, and then people gave her a lot of chocolate because she doesn't drink wine, so you have to give something else. But she had 3 children, and she couldn't find a way to evenly distribute these unevenly distributed chocolate bars. So she asked me to create a model how to create a chocolate bar with different sizes of chocolate, but that could evenly be distributed among 3, 4, 5, or 6 people. Because that she tried that for a newspaper column and she couldn't crack it. So she like, you're good with computers, you figure it out.
Yes.
So I ran a little program that calculated like the perfect chocolate bar. So we did that, and she wrote her column, and it was a big success. And then I decided, well, I just have a bunch of numbers. I don't know what this chocolate bar actually looks like now. So I got working on, and I made this model. I calculated how heavy chocolate is and how big the surfaces should be. Fun fact, milk chocolate is lighter than pure chocolate. So we printed this out, and we made a silicone mold of it, so you could actually turn it into real chocolate bars. And then she showed it off and wrote a column about it again. Like, I now actually have a unevenly distributed chocolate bar that can be split up into even pieces. And then the people at Tony Chocolonely were so excited about the project that we actually got a tour through the factory. We met their taste creators, so the people who come up with the new flavors, and we actually
got to make our own chocolate bar.
Our own custom flavor.
Yeah.
Wait, what was your custom flavor? What was?
Oh, you had an extreme one.
I had little gummy bears and pop rock sugar.
Exactly. I think mine was a bit more boring. I had granola and I don't really remember what the other thing was. Well,
there was something else in it.
A little bit less festive.
A little bit. And then we actually made a couple of bars using our mold in their factory. So this is the weird, brilliant thing that's still in our house. Is the original 3D printed model of the custom chocolate bar that we made.
Yep.
That is amazing. And yeah, there's a lot of folks in the audience saying, like, thank you for sharing that story. And Rob, it's all good. You know, you know about it now, and that's the most important thing. Jess says, I did some work on the UK's Modern Slavery Act. Does not go far enough, but a good start. And I love things like chocolate companies who take it seriously. And Sate says, wait a minute. Well, didn't actually say that, but says, I'm kind of inferring the, whoa, you make chocolate. Whoa.
Yes.
Can we do some chocolate tearing together?
We can definitely do that. Yes. We have actually have a chocolate mold for hive pieces. So we have created a complete dark and white chocolate hive set.
Yeah. Well, we can't use it anymore because you put resin in them.
Yeah. So that one is toxic now, but we can make a new one.
Exactly. We can make a new one. No problem.
So you can easily turn everything into a mold and then turn everything into chocolate.
And Pop Rocks, like popping candy, for sure. Xate makes chocolates with Pop Rocks.
It's a lot of fun. It's actually, it works really well together.
You let the chocolate melt on your tongue and then the popping starts.
Exactly. It's a lot of fun.
Bodhi, I don't know where exactly Bodhi is based. Maybe Bodhi is based in Holland, or maybe Bodhi is based in one of the other 6 parts of the Netherlands. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they can tell us.
Wait, there's 5. What was it? There's 6 parts, and
no, there's 12 provinces, and 2 of them are actually Holland.
Yeah.
So why are 2 of them the same? I'm confused.
Oh, you've got North and South Holland.
Yeah.
Okay, so technically there's North Holland as
Yeah.
So there's 10 other provinces. Okay, so maybe Bodhi is in one of the other 10 places. Anyway, in Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah, well then it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Amsterdam and Enschede are near each other?
No, they're not near each other, but the Tony Chocolonely store factory thing that they have is in Amsterdam as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, there's a lesson here, and Aviv says you can easily turn everything into chocolate.
Yes.
Should be the takeaway home lesson of today's stream.
I could actually probably do a tutorial about that. We probably should. That sounds like a fun idea. I think I actually have some food-safe silicone left.
Yeah, we do.
Do you stream much? Like, you've done a stream in the past, but I think you did 2 streams?
Yeah, I think maybe even 1.
Yeah, Heinze would be good.
No,
at
we
streams.
did 2. We did 2.
He would be good at streams. He likes to talk.
Sorry.
Good. No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, we want to do more with it, and we've also been thinking about becoming a VTuber, which is a dirty word for streaming while controlling an animated character.
Yes.
We
you look good. I mean,
why
not
just
let
seems,
people see your face?
It just seems so nicely on brand to have animated.
Our cartoon characters actually.
Yeah. I get that, but
yeah, maybe
it's a lot of work, and that's just one more process to stop yourself from doing it.
But that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
But turning things into chocolate isn't a good stream actually, because things take time. So it's probably
you could do I don't know. You could what you could do, because the whole notion of Friendly Friday Forum, for anyone who is interested, the whole notion is anyone's allowed to jump in. If you want to jump in for a long time and have a big proper chat and have it focused around you, then let me know in advance. But generally, when it's just me on my own, if someone wants to jump in for 5 minutes saying, hey, this is a thing. So what I'm suggesting is that in future weeks, jump on for 5 minutes at some point, and we could do a special section. Hey, here's Heinze's chocolate.
Making
chocolate. It's every week you've got a little bit. It's the next stage.
You can do next step. That's actually a lot of fun. We should probably
we should plan that in the future.
Yeah, we should probably think about how to. We can do it every week. So we can do week 1 where the audience selects a board game component that we're going to turn into chocolate, and then week 2 I'm going to make the mold, and then it has to dry for 24 hours. So week 3 we can actually talk about how to create chocolate that you can pour, and then week 4 we can actually show off the chocolate. It's a 4-week.
There we go.
This sounds amazing.
It's going to be a chocolate segment.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're up for it, I would love to have you. Let's make this happen.
I would have to to check my calendar if I can do it every Friday the coming week, but we can totally do this.
Like if there's a skip in it, it's like we'll forgive
That's
you.
fine.
It's all...
Yeah. Let's set that up.
Apparently there's something about free chocolate samples.
Yes, they do have free chocolate samples.
I am very interested in those free chocolate samples. 3D food printer is like something, the stuff of dreams.
That is.
Popping candy is kind of like kryptonite for Rob. Does not get along with it.
I understand. It is a weird thing going on in your head.
The Bluetooth of candy.
Yours is from South Holland. There you go. Wait, there's someone from Overijssel.
Yes, that is the province we are in as well.
Yeah.
States is so east from the Netherlands. It's in Germany.
Yeah, that's what we often say.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
Chocolate teapots was
very big.
For so Xate didn't actually make a chocolate teapot. It was a drawing of a chocolate teapot, but the drawing was in chocolate. So it was actually drawn in chocolate. And yeah, imagine making a live drawn animation of yourself. Like you've done the animation with your reactions to snippets of other things. That was, yeah, really fun. And how did that make you feel?
So it is something we had a lot of fun with, and I want to do more of it. And it's pretty easy because it's just silhouettes, so it's fine if the animation doesn't completely lines up or works. And it's so it's sort of I feel two ways about it. I wanna promote more creators, and I want to promote more creators, and I do sometimes do these long follow Friday threads on Twitter, and nobody really seems to care about them. So this seems like a more interesting format, but then you limit yourself to only people who make video content, and there's a lot of good other content out there.
Yes.
That's a really nice sentiment, actually. And I've seen your kind of Follow Friday features where it's actually, hey, these are... Let me actually take that off and or just... This is now the main topic for the final 10 minutes or so, where we won't have time to go through necessarily all the Instagram pictures like I feel
we have to come back at one point and continue, Bess.
Yeah, that would be really nice. But Xate is all about drawing stuff in chocolate.
Wow.
And I will actually very quickly say it's well cooked for chocolates. Let me show something. There we go. This is what I'm going to show.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
Is it like on nougat or a cake or?
I think
that is actually chocolate. That's a solid bar of chocolate.
Oh, it's a solid bar of chocolate.
That is
so basically cool. I think it's kind of like piping, and then so it's done on cling film and then reversed. Yeah, I saw.
Well done.
Yeah,
that is super cool.
And so Dutch Yoda is Lelystad is in Flevoland.
Yes.
Yep. Correct.
It is. It is a complete province we've pulled out of the sea.
Yeah.
Are you being serious? It was actually...
It was sea.
It was sea, and we just decided, no, it's no longer a sea, and we just turned it into land.
Wow. Why have you not talked to me about this, Dutch Yoda? That's the kind of stories that you could be telling, and instead you just talk about board games. I mean...
Oh, no.
There are some making of videos on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Xate, feel free to chuck your YouTube
link
in the thing,
because we have it on the second screen, so we'll click on it. And...
Oh, actually, over there, right there. No, there. Oh, no, I'm so confused with locations.
I'll move you to that side so that we can point towards the chat. So the chat is
there. Yes, share your work, please. We'll check it out.
Yeah. And living 6 meters below sea level, and delicious. So, honestly, I'm wondering, would you like to would you like to just leave everything else and for another time and call it a day for now? Shall I start to recap and wrap up?
I don't mind doing another thing, or
You don't have an appointment at one?
I think I have one, but that's still 15 minutes away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it'll take me 15 minutes to recap and wrap up.
Okay, let's just wrap up and then we'll come back another day.
We'll certainly come back.
Okay, so semi-co-op, where is my... I have all these links, and make sure that you check them out. Why does it not... I meant to put it into that. Hopefully that works. Okay.
Click them all. Click them. Like and subscribe.
At least 15 minutes, says Alex. So we talked about a film festival. We talked about a 3D printed thing for a film festival. We talked about having a cheeky Nando's. Oh, that's the chocolate. That's not
sorry. This one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The prize for the student film festival. We talked about having a cheeky Nando's. We talked about why Nederlander was translated into English as Dutch. What's up with that? Apparently some people maybe back in the day thought that Nederlanders were Germans. And I'm going to start calling you Nederlanders, although I know that I think we should try to reclaim that title.
Nederlanders.
Anyway, we talked about World War II leading to more bicycles in the Netherlands. We talked about Valheim. We talked a wee bit about Wildlands. We talked about the crew and started talking about tongue twisters because of the crew.
Crew.
Yeah. A crew of two is too few to crew.
True.
Yeah.
That's the lesson from today. A crew of two is too few to crew. We talked about legacy games and the whole nature of them and the nature of spoilers and like how maybe it would be nice to have some sort of criticism. And we talked about having cables going through little portals and the nature of could you actually sustain some big energy with that? Possibly not. I don't know. We talked about Komikaza, like your local place. We talked about Enschede, which is apparently where you live, which is 90 minutes away. He talks about making mistakes with hotels and managing to find that, wait a minute, this is going to take so long because the German transport system is not quite as good as we had hoped. We talked about real-life comics, and we talked about Tony's Chocolate Only and the whole story about trying to end slavery. And do you want to do a live tasting of one of the pieces? Or
if you're yes. Yes. If you're giving me a chance to eat chocolate, yes. Okay.
So describe the flavors to us. Describe the smell and the flavors that are going through your mouth.
Well, I'm sure my mother is not watching, so I can talk with my mouth full. So this is a kind of sweet but very rich milk chocolate. With bigger pieces of caramel. And there's also quite big chunks of sea salt in there. So you have this sweet sensation combined with a little salty twists in there.
So the salt isn't sprinkled throughout. It's just this big, whoa, you're getting some salt now.
Yeah.
It's almost aggressive in its fierceness.
It's like rougher sea salt. Like those bigger chunks, not the dusty kitchen salt. Wow. Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, that does sound very good. And so, we talked about all of that stuff, and then what else did... and Sates has a couple of YouTube links, so if that's the first or second thing drawn in chocolate, and that's a geeky Dutch Yoda. So you'll have to be on Twitch to check them out. And remember, of course, it is Dutch Yoda's birthday week. Should we say happy birthday to you, happy birthday week to you, happy birthday week to Dutch Yoda, happy birthday week to you.
I can't find it. Yay!
I don't know.
I have party hats here, but
Oh, there.
Oh, there.
That's too far.
It's too late. The
Sorry,
moment has
this
passed.
And cardamom, big knockout pieces of red pepper and cardamom. That sounds amazing.
Ooh.
And
It's nice.
we talked about trying to big up people, but like, I really love the way that you are so caring, both of you. And I say the plural you are trying to, you really, when you want to big up someone, you really put a lot of effort into it. And even making this comic based on, I mean, we didn't talk at all about semi-co-op as a comic. I mean, oh, by the way, there's this whole comic.
We do things with comics.
We'll be
it's
back.
fine.
We'll be back.
Yeah, so there's this whole comic called Semi-Co-op. Check it out. It's really good. And I am very honored that one of them is about Yogi as well. Well, it's one panel's about Yogi, but it's like this comic, it's kind of like appreciating the culture, but like it's so, and hippity hip, hooray!
Hoorah.
Hey.
Is that how you say hippity hip, hooray?
Yeah.
Hippity hip.
Hoorah.
We would say hippity peep.
Yeah, we would say heap the peep, which is
Hippity peep. Peep.
Hipper de peep, hoera!
Hipperdy peep. Hipperdy peep. Hurrah!
Yay!
It's quite a lovely language. I like it. I mean, French, it's kind of like je m'appelle Biz, and it's kind of like, oh, I can't be quite bothered saying stuff, but it's like,
Oh, je parle français comme un enfant de 3 ans. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
the best language is Flemish.
Mais je déteste ma voisine.
No, you're right. The best language is Flemish. It's like a combination
Yeah,
of
of Dutch and French.
yeah.
It's just a much softer, more friendly Dutch.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And okay, as we're wrapping up, this is the last thing that we're going to take from the comments, but yeah. How do you say this? Eris in Jerig, hore dat kun je wel zien dat het is.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know the
actually,
song.
if it's a song, it's is er een jarig, hoera, hoera, dat kun je wel zien, dat is de Choda.
That is okay.
There, I did sing on your stream.
Yay!
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 Achievement
Woo!
unlocked.
And so, if you want to check me out, then it is stuffbabes.com, stuffbabes.bookcard.com, twitter.com/stuffbabes, instagram.com/stuffbabes, twitch.tv/stuffbabes, youtube.com/stuffbabes, and stuffbabes.com/discord if you want to join the Discord. And if you want to check out these fine people, where do you like to be found?
There, where it's on the screen. Just
We're on every social media
as semi-co.
except for TikTok.
Yeah, we'll figure that one out one day.
Yeah,
Maybe? Or
maybe.
definitely?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching. You've been just the most fantastic crowd. All the positivity, all the enthusiasm, all the lovely questions, and all the great chat. I want to say thank you to, and thank you, I'll say it twice, to Rachael and Heinze, two lovely people, two beautiful, glamorous, it's your favourite couple in board gaming.
Aww. Thank you.
And thank you for giving us your time. I want to say to everyone, this is a section where I ask you to share whether it's exciting or boring or serious or frivolous. Over to you. What are you up to? You can share anything you want to. What are you up to? I am going to be writing a wee bit more of my book. I'm going to be having a conversation at 1 p.m, which for me is in just over an hour. I'm going to have a conversation later on with someone for a mentorship program, and I'm going to have a conversation with someone else after that for something called 10-minute board game podcast. And so like we talk about something, but we cram it into 10 minutes. So it's a lot more focused than this show, where we just talk about cards and then try to cram it into 10 minutes. Or I will talk about game systems and try to somehow cram it into 10 minutes. I don't know how that's going to work.
Excellent.
But it will be fun.
Yes.
That's busy, man. I'm going to be making a sketch for a commissioned comic, but I can't.
Nice.
I can't share anything about that. So
okay. Do you will this be one of your sketches that you?
No. Just
so this is a private commissioned comic.
No, it is a commissioned comic, but not a sketchy. Just a full color.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
But people will hear about it in due course. Stay on the website, okay?
Exactly.
And thank you, Jos. What is everyone up to? And Jeroen says, "Oh, you sang for me." I mean,
yeah. Wait.
That's a different one. Sure, for you two, for every single Jeroen in the world.
Exactly.
I mean, when it's happy birthday to Jeroen, you can pretend that it's you as well.
Exactly.
No, seriously, thank you very much. It's been lovely to see you. Frank tries. No, it's all a good time. Thank you for joining us, even if you're at the end and we're going to raid within the next 5 minutes. Jos is doing 3D printing for work.
Excellent.
And of course, Frank tries. Yep, you can join us tomorrow if you wish. I mean, these two people won't be here, but we'll have a totally different Dutch person tomorrow.
Another Dutch person. Oh, of course. I know who.
Seat showed up the other day, right as the raids moved us to a different screen. Good day to you too.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everyone. You've been all lovely. But
yes, it's been really good.
Yeah.
For my next streams, check out stuffbybez.com/streams. And tomorrow, in case you didn't know, I am chatting to Dutch Yoda, and we're going to see what happens to finish off. It's not because it's the birthday week or anything. We do this every 2 weeks, and hopefully I will be able to help Dutch Yoda talk about the game and how to improve it. It's like sometimes we do this, sometimes we do that. Let's not get stuck into rut. I'm looking forward to chatting, and let's see what happens tomorrow. It's if you want to come in and support Dutch Yoda and try to help Dutch Yoda get started in their journey as a board game designer, then feel free to join us. And maybe there will be some information that's useful to you. Maybe it'll just be fun for you to watch. Maybe you've got some experience of your own to share. On Sunday, I will be back at 10 a.m. UK time. Every day is 10 a.m. UK time, which is 11 a.m. in Netherlands.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And my city is what I'm going to be reviewing. So probably for like half an hour or so, I will be saying without spoilers. And then after some time, I will be putting up spoiler tag, and I will be sharing some spoilers. And I will be putting up a bigger spoiler tag, and I will be sharing all the spoilers, because I believe that I want to talk about this critically, but I also want to have some tangents about the nature of legacy games and about the ecological impact and the nature of story in games.
Mm-hmm. Great.
On Monday, I'll be meeting Stefan Luca, who's a lovely person from Romania. And Tuesday, I'll be drawing some pictures at night, playing a game, meeting Theo Riviere, the designer, on Wednesday and Thursday, discussing work and relationships with Dina and Peter Blenkarn of ITB. And basically every day at 10 a.m. UK time, I'm here. Just check out the link. Share, spread the word. I will check out someone to raid. I will quickly look at who is streaming right now. Normally there's no board game person.
Where are we going to end up?
How about Dan Live doing music? Shall we do Dan? Dan's birthday was just over a week ago. I think their birthday week might be technically finished, but let's go to their stream. Because I only see like I don't see that many people, which is thinking. That is the end. So unless anybody else has anything to share, I knew the Dutch would one day take over, but yes, I'll try and join. Gonna try and figure out a bit of how deck building works. Psst. Yep, there we go. Chicks, that's how it's. Prepare a speech about living below sea level. And so, yep, we need to say goodbye. And so for now, that is it.
Bye.
Do you have any final words? Bye, 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 bye. This is goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show.
Thank you all for hanging out.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
And now it's time to go. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And, yep, that is, we've got some free seconds. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cheers.